Hi, crew. Today we are going to be doing lesson 8, so you will need your bird book. But for the first part, we're going to do a review. So if you look on my computer screen here, we will be reading for the gist and determining the main idea of Nasreen's Secret School. So hopefully you listened to the story yesterday. That's going to be really important so that you can do the note catcher for today. I wanted to show you my computer screen because Nasreen's Secret School takes place in Afghanistan. So this is the country of Afghanistan, and you can see on the world map is there. But I wanted to show you this page, this slide here. So the happy face is where we are, and we live in North America here. I believe this is Colombia, and this is in South America, and this is where Anna lives. And then when we went over to Africa, this is where our rain school story and Tomas took place in Chad. And the Nasreen Secret School takes place over here where the green triangle is, and that is where Afghanistan is. Okay, so now I'm going to make my document camera bigger because I want us to do a review. We've been working on the who and the where, source, that means like what's the name of the book, what were the challenges that the author in the story or the character in the story faces? And the last one is, well, how did these characters overcome their challenge? So I wanted to do a review with you. The very first book that we read had our character, Anna. So here's Anna, and she lived in Colombia on a house on a hill. The story was called Waiting for Biblia Burrow. So now remember, if you haven't read any of these stories, it would be good for you to go back to your Google Classroom and go back to last week's October 25th, like the week right before Halloween, so you can listen to these stories. Because if you haven't done it, then none of these things are going to make sense to you. Okay, in Waiting for Biblia Burrow, the challenge for Anna was that her teacher moved away, so there were no books, and there was no one in the village to teach the children. And so, how Anna overcame this challenge was that there was a man, he was a librarian, and he brought books to the village. And if you remember, he had 2 donkeys that he brought that helped carry the books. Okay, so the great thing about this module that we're studying is that in every book, there's challenges. So, of course, we have our main character, but there's challenges. And within each challenge, our main character has a way to overcome this challenge. So it's very similar to our life. We will always have challenges no matter what we do. So it's always important for us to figure out a way to overcome these challenges. Okay. Also, last week we read about Tomas, who lives in Chad, and the book was called Rain School. Now, if you remember Rain School, when Tomas got to his school, there was no school building there. They just met their teacher. They didn't have a school. And the way they overcame this challenge is that they built the school together. So if you remember correctly, the teacher said that their first lesson was going to be building their school. They learned how to make the walls, the frames, the mud desk, everything. So they put their school together before they could learn. Yesterday, you read about Nasreen's Secret School. So our character is Nasreen, and it takes place in Herat, Afghanistan. The title of the book is called Nasreen's Secret School. Nasreen faced a bit more challenges than Tomas and Anna in our other 2 stories. Nasreen had quite a few. Because she was a girl, she was not allowed to go to school. We also found out that her mom and her dad were gone. She was also not allowed, well, people in the country were not allowed to go outside. And there were scary soldiers everywhere. So she had quite a few challenges. The first challenge, the not being allowed to go to school, well, Nasreen and her grandmother overcame it because Nasreen and her grandmother, they take a risk by going to the secret school. And if you remember, at the school is actually where Nasreen started to feel better, and she made her friends, and she was starting to talk more. Okay. Alrighty, so that's a good review. I'm going to pause this video here and then we're going to continue with part 2 in our next video.